Do you ever feel like you're an alien living on Earth because you don't care about Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, or Pete Davidson? Like, you don't care at all, right? Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is episode 65, Planning March Projects. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little not prepared. I have to go to the dentist in the morning, and I woke up at 6:30 this morning, freaked out about it. So for me, dental stuff falls into the medical stuff, so it's a phobia, which is awesome. So like I'm feeling the anxiety in my stomach and in my head, and not the best day for me. So hopefully, everything will go smoothly tomorrow and it won't be a big deal. Anyway, I am again wearing my squishy robe because it's cold out here. It's like 30 degrees. But there's so much more light out here than in my craft room that I prefer to be out here. Plus there's like just generally more room, and there's a space heater, so it's not terribly cold. Lola just found the heater, so I put a little bed right in front of the heater so she can be warm. Anyway, what do I have for you? Whips, finished items. We have something that's getting frogged that will not be finished this month because I'm fed up with it. Also, we're planning next month. So let's, I guess, just get into it. Okay, let's talk about the big one so far, because you haven't seen the other thing I'm working on. So our main project this month, if you recall, is the V-back tee. And I hate it. So I got to the part where I was before, where I'm about to do the ribbing for the bottom, and I don't know if this still looks child size to you. It does to me. However, my gauge is spot on. It's literally, I got 22 stitches and 34 rows for 4 inches, and it's exactly what theirs is, 22, and then in the pattern it says 33 rows, and then another part of the pattern it says 34 rows. So either way, so there are 2 problems I have with this top. One is that it is really form-fitting through here. The sleeves are still a bit tight. It's not, it kind of cuts into me in the back a little bit, but I had planned to wear this with the V in front, and but it is so uncomfortable on top. But then, here's my real problem. When I stand up, you're not going to be able to hear me, so I'm going to tell you before I stand up. It is huge. It is so huge. Like, it's tight through the bust, and then as soon as you get down here, it's humongous. Okay, and it feels like it's strangling me, really. So what I do is I wanted to wear it this way. Not strangling me anymore. It actually is pretty good on the back, right? Love the V-neck. Also, not nearly as tight. Sleeves are still tight. And the body. It's still huge. I don't understand how it can be so form-fitting through here and then just explode So look at how much length. This is my belly button for reference. So I'm going to give you my belly button and my hip bone for reference. So that's like how much more I'd have to work. And this is why I have such a problem with the way I don't know how there's so many extra stitches I have to work. Do you see when I'm bending over the sides, right? This like 6 inches, like at least, of extra. But look how tight the armpits are. Like you can see them stretched out here. Like it is so tight right there. It is so tight. And then huge, just absolutely huge. And I don't like feeling like I'm wasting my time. So like, maybe if I had kept these decreases going, it would have been fine. Because that just seems like way too many. I mean, granted, I did not want this thing to... It's supposed to have like 3 positive inches at the bust, right? 0 to 3. I feel like that's more than that. So anyway, since this is my second try on the V-back tee, I'm giving up. And I'm going to frog this. And we'll never talk of it again. And so that's where I'm at on that. So now I still need another plan of what to do with my Halloween minis that were going to be one of these. So we'll have to figure that out. Since I finished everything and the V-back tee was drying because I locked it, I started the Michelle in the colorway Slytherins Are Brave 2 from Honey Girl Farms. And I am absolutely loving this. I love how this looks in stockinette. I love how it looks in the mesh lace. Very excited to have this done. So I've done 1, 2, 3. I've done 3 repeats. So this will get 5. It gets around 5, and the last 5th repeat depends on just do extra lace, and that depends on how much that's by weight, how much is left. So hopefully we'll get a bit work done on this. So this will be done next week too. We're almost done. This is gonna be my sole project besides the last choker. So we'll be done this month with everything, which will be nice to not have anything hanging over my head. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could, maybe I might have to start something. But this is, I'm not sure this is going to take me like the rest of the month. Because it's like the 20 something, right? The 23rd. Okay, so yeah, I like 20, yeah, till Monday? Thursday. I might have to start something else. So I might start one of our March projects before then. So anyway, finished projects. Oh, I'm wearing one. This is the top. This is from the Adine Wool's Calm, which is, I've forgotten. So let me look it up real quick. Okay. Yeah, Adine Wool's Calm. This is 80% wool, 10% silk, and 10% mohair. Wool, silk, and mohair. This is probably going to be really warm. It's not superwash. It's a DK 231 yards to 100 grams. So I have about 50 grams left. I did not measure it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the extra DKs because I'm not making Lola sweaters out of DK. She will get worsted weight, and that's it. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Just got her face right up to the heater. If I remember, I will put that on the thing for you. So yes, really like this base. It's a little bit not really scratchy, but I think it's a little too scratchy for some sensitive areas. So I'm wearing a cropped one underneath. This one is cotton, alpaca, and merino, I think. I have 2 chokers done. And one is the one I showed you last week. I blocked it, and it was just cluster stitches on the three thread, size 3 thread, so it's thicker. It's a bit thicker. There was a thin one I wanted to do, but the pattern said it was on a Google Drive and I couldn't get to it. So we've got this one instead, which is a little bit thicker than I wanted to be. But I have to make a buttonhole, and I think I'm just going to chain around the button and then attach. So we'll chain here and attach on the side here to make like a buttonhole, and then I'll single crochet around it to, make a buttonhole and make sure it also a button on the other end. But this just blocked last night. Then I have Asphyxiation from the Anti-Craft, which needs blacked horribly, and I put a snap. I snap on before blocking, but whatever. I might just pin it and mist it, to be honest, because I don't really feel like cotton really needs much of anything. The flower does need some, pinning down. I'm not sure I really like the flower, but I already sewed the thing on, so not terrible to do. I liked 2 things about it. The one thing I liked was how it built. It was easy to go back and forth, and then also that they were attached to each other. You didn't have to sew them on separately, because I hate that. So I have one more to do. That is a YouTube video. I don't recall. It's in my watch laters, but I don't have. I'll give you that next week because it'll be done. And next week is finished projects for the month. So so this is our last Bonjour. Here's what was left. This little tiny little bit, maybe. I don't even think that's half gram. Perfect. It's perfect. So anyway, let me throw that around to the back. And because this can be worn anyway, but I want to show you how well it fits with the top. Look at that. The color scheme, like they match perfectly. It's absolutely amazing. So we did this in response to so remember, this is the 4th one we've done. So we have one that is in plain, this is worsted weight actually. This is alpaca, which is why you can see the stitches. So we've done it plain, and we've also done it where the merino and the mohair are both colored, and then we've done where the merino is black and the mohair is colored, and then we've done where the merino is colored and the mohair is black. I like all versions. I mean, I'm not really this one has more prominent V's. So does this one, colored V's. So they're more prominent in these two because obviously it's the thicker, right? And you can see the V's here. But here you also get just smaller V's. You still get V's. They're just smaller and less noticeable. Some more like delicate. You know, not so in your face. So I really do like both versions. I think the halo's the same on all of them. It's noticeable on all of them, but not overly. It's not like overly. This has a nice black kind of fuzziness to it. I do love the changing the neck, really fixed it for me. Without the roll down neck, it's warmer. I think it looks better. I also think it fits better, except for if you really want to wear it as a cowl, then I would do the neck that the thing calls for, because once it's up like this, you really can't really push it forward to be like it doesn't really feel like a cowl then. And if you want it up off your shoulders, I mean, it works, but it looks kind of weird. So, I mean, I guess if it doesn't bother you, then it's fine. But I like it like this. I like the silhouette it gives. I really like it when I'm working. I do feel like on the colder days, I'm going to need some arm warmers. That's the running joke of arm warmers, right? I can't think of anything more boring to make than arm warmers. Someday I will make one though. So I think the next one I want to do is I want to do it this way, but raglan. Since I'm going to wear it this way, I wonder if doing some raglan increases after the neck would keep it in place. And then I could better fit where I'm going to put slits, because this is kind of the beginning of our making that poncho thing that I want with the slits for the arms. However, I do also want to, because with one skein, I'm not going to do ones of arms, obviously, but I do have some combos. I have 2 skeins of black merino silk that I would like to make armholes with, so I could have something a little bit longer but also still have my arms come out. That I think is going to happen more towards it might be the next one we make, to be honest, but then I'm thinking I should probably make one skein that is you know what, maybe I'll find hopefully somewhere in there I'll find 200 grams of worsted that we can do, because it's so much easier to tink back, and I can figure out if I can do how big I need to get for the raglans and stuff like that. I just want something that's going to stay on the shoulders a little bit better for when I have to put a slit here. And I also think this can get a bit bunchy right here. And if it was raglan, it might not do that. It might fit better. But that also depends on how I block it. Because not all of them, this one seems to be doing it, but not all of them do that. Because they're made of circles, the increases are all the way around. They're not. So I'm thinking if we go this way, it should be fine. I'm thinking of doing worsted just because it's easier to see the stitches. No mohair, just something worsted. And I'm not sure if I have two skeins of worsted. I know I have 2 skeins of worsted from Knitcrate, but they are from somebody, and it was the only time they gave us 2 skeins that did not match. They complemented each other, but they did not match. So I have no idea what to do with them. and they're blue. So like, I don't know what to do with these. And it's too bad I can't dye one black and have it match the other one. So these are all done now of our mohair. Of our mohair experiment, I really thought I would have a favorite, and I don't. I like all of them. You know, my favorite's going to be when I have black merino or something with black mohair. You know, that's going to be my favorite one. And I have some, also I want to do an alpaca blend with alpaca suri instead of mohair. I want to do a cashmere blend with mohair too. But I don't think that's going to make I don't think you're even going to notice it's cashmere at that point. It might just be wasting, but I want that too. I'm still thinking I'm going to redo this because this is the first one I made to pattern and I don't like it. So I think it's going to depend how well it frogs. If it's going to frog for me, then I'll probably redo it. If not, I don't know. I haven't decided. There's like a couple other things I have to put on as projects to finish, like my hat, my double layer, what's the word? Double layer Aran weight hat that I have to do. And this. So redos. Right? Okay. I was saying those things that I have to redo could be on the stash list and can easily go wherever we're going. So let's talk about planning March, and I'm going to show you my plan for March because you know I do this. You guys doing this yet? Does anybody do this? So we're still in spring. March is my second month of spring. Where are we at? Spring. February, March, April. So we've done February. There's February. So we're over here, March and April. So I've got I actually only have 3 projects planned for this month, and I'm going to tell you why, because our dye project is also our crochet project. How fun is that? And that's not going to be a problem because we have plenty of stash projects to bring in. So if obviously I can just whip up a shawl. You know, I whipped up a shawl when I had time for it. I mean, I never sit idly. If I'm done with this, just start something else. Actually, I want to save the talk for what I'm going to do if I run out of things to do for after what I'm showing you. So the first thing I'm going to show you, I already have pulled up here. It is called Half a Cardi by Dandelion Dreamers. It is a free pattern, just says by Patty. And this is made actually in cotton yarn, but I'm not doing cotton yarn. It looks like this. So it's like just around the neck, and then it comes down to just below the bust, and then it has these short little sleeves. I'm doing long sleeves though because I want something that's kind of like a shrug. That I could wear with these tops. So it'll come to here, so I only have this little bit showing. That will also kind of be warm, hence the longer sleeves. Because remember, the Safire we're doing has shorter sleeves, and it's a V-neck. So V-neck short sleeves, the more covered up, longer sleeves, okay? I am using this, I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. It's Mirasal, right? Mirasal Peru. It is, I can't eat, their font is so terrible. I can't even tell you what it is. I know it's Mirasal. Okay, I'm supporting the children of Peruvian shepherds. That's great. Puno, region of Puno. That's not what this is called. I literally can, I don't know what that says. Because is it Qina, Pina? I don't know what that says right there. But Mirasal is right in here. I mean, this is really bad. Like that font, and it's not, I don't know. It is 80% baby alpaca and 20% bamboo. And it is in this lovely shade of gray. It is so soft. So soft. And I have like 644 yards of it. I have 7 50-gram balls. And the half cardi, it calls for sport weight cotton. Okay. That is done with a 4mm. Now we know I have tried sport weight on a 4mm and I don't like it. So I am going to swatch this before I do it. But I know how loose of a knitter I am, and I'm really not worried about it. Plus, because the cardi is, what you call it? Oh my God, I've already said the shoulder shape like 8 times. Raglan, because it's a raglan. I can fudge with the measurements a little bit, so it'll be fine. Plus, I got to make up a whole sleeve anyway. So I think I'm gonna do the bottom until I get the length I want, which is right under the bust. Because there's a picture there that I really like, but I thought it was a grown woman, and then when I clicked open, it was like a child. So I'm not gonna show you that picture. The picture looked much younger than what I thought the person would be, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I want mine to look like. And then I'm like, she looked like she was 8, and I was like, I don't want it. I don't know if she is 8. Like, I don't know if she just looks young in the face, but I'm not going to show you that picture. So, okay. The sport version looks, I can show you one of these pictures. Looks very airy, if you can see. How open that is, like how much of her skin is showing through. So I was like, my whole thing is make the fabric you like. So I think the recommended needles on this are 4mm. I'm like almost, yes, 4mm, US 6. Gives you 26 rows. Even though I think this is 22. Does it? Oh, I didn't write it down on this. It's in the other part. Anyway, I'm going to mess around with gauge swatching, see what we can get with this. And I really want to make it with this, so I might just make the, oh my God, what is her name? Was it Zimmerman? Who was it that did the knit picks, calculations? I'm just going to do that. To figure out how big, because it doesn't need to be all the way around, because it's not going to close at all. It just has to close up here and then, kind of be open. So the fit doesn't have to be perfect, and it can be a little bit smaller if it needs to be. So I'm assuming I might have to mess with that pattern a little bit, but it's a free pattern, so I don't care. Yeah. And I'm gonna like, did I already say I'm gonna do it to under the bust, and then I'm gonna make the sleeves as long as they'll go, because that is not quite a sweater's quantity. It's when I saw there were 7 balls, I thought it was. I didn't realize there were 50-gram balls. So I was like, whoops, that's not a sweater quality, but it's still bamboo, baby alpaca. I'll take it, and it's gray, so it's fine. I was thinking I might try to dye it black afterwards, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so our second one is our dye project, and this, I think this is from Knitcrate, their dye along series, which I did not mean to buy because they sent you Bear Yarn and Kool-Aid, and I was like, I don't use Kool-Aid and I already have a ton of Bear Yarn, and you didn't get to pick what Bear Yarn you got. They just sent it to you like this with nothing on it, so you have no idea what it is. So from what they gave as what yarn you could get, my best guess is that this is 75/25 merino nylon, 415 yards, 100 grams. So the 415 is a weird, it's a weird number, 415. It's like usually it's 420, 400. 415 is weird. So our dye project is going to be the Hawthorne Tonal Shawl by Brianna K. Designs. I feel like I do her stuff a lot and I don't like it. This is supposed to be done with Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering. However, this is what it looks like. It is 2 colors. Should I pull this down a little bit, see if you can see it better? So hers is gray and like an off-white. Anyway, I'll link it so you can just look at it if you want. The gray is tonal and the off-white is like speckled. I'm not, of course, I'm not sure what colors I'm doing, but the Hawthorne is 3 something. I was gonna buy Hawthorne, and then I like just to do this, and I'm like, why? Because I thought I had some and I don't. It's Stroll, which is like 460 something, and Hawthorne is 357 yards, so that's quite a difference to 460 to 350. That's almost an extra 100 yards. So that's really messing with the thickness. Now for shawl, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. Especially a fingering shawl with 2 skeins is going to be plenty big. And it looks like it's a good size. So the content of Hawthorne is 80-20. It's 80% woolen, 20% nylon. So 75-15 or 75-25 is totally fine. It's very comparable. We're going from 357 yards to 415, so we're still thinning out the yarn a little bit. This calls for a hook size of B to E, and she uses an H. So if she uses a 5, we might go down to a 450. We might go down to a 4. It's not going to matter too much because I'm not really worried about, as long as I get a fabric I like, I'm not worried because I have plenty of yarn. This is going to be plenty of yarn to make the shawl. And I'd really like to make the tassels. I don't know why I like the tassels, but I do. There's 3 tassels made with the speckled yarn. Which I would probably do I mean, I wonder if she had, if that's what she had left. It's not going to matter. The colors that I have in my head, I don't want to tell you because I want it to be a surprise, but I'm not entirely set that that's the color I'm going to do. And we still have like a couple weeks before dye project, I think, because we have 1 episode next week is finished items. And then the next episode is, we have 2 weeks till I show you the yarn. So like a week and a half. So not this weekend, but next weekend I'll be dyeing. 1 skein is solid tonal or semi-solid, and 1 is speckled. I could also do this in an MCN high twist, which is 80-10-10, merino cashmere nylon. That's 400 yards. So that is probably closer to the, I mean, we're still 50 or 40 yards off. And also I only have like 5 of those left. And I have another dye project that's one skein that I want to use that for. And I was like, I have no idea what I will ever do with this. And since this one has tassels, I was like, we could use that extra yardage for tassels. So that's where I'm at, I guess. That I have no other plan for this yarn. And I mean, it's just sock yarn. There's nothing, just the yardage was weird, 415. So that yardage, 350 something. 350, I don't know what it is. That's weird yardage. So like, let's just use up the weird yardage for the weird yardage. And I was surprised I didn't have any Hawthorne, I thought, but apparently all I bought was Stroll. In Wool the Andes. I don't do a lot of shopping on Knitpicks. I really just, they don't have a lot of black and dark color. The Stroll does. The Stroll had like some like raven or something. I mean, they do have good burgundies. But I can only have so many burgundy projects. This is why I like black. I could just make it black. It's fine. One of these will be black. I could tell the semi-solid is probably going to black. I'm actually going to try to do something different. And we're also, remember, we're experimenting with temperature. So I'm going to see, I know we did 180 for our mohair. So I'm going to see if we can go like, I might try like 170 and see if we can get, because this nylon in here, I love yarn with nylon in it because nylon sucks up dye beautifully, evenly, and it looks fantastic all the time. So I'm kind of thinking one of these will be speckled and one will be semi-solid. The semi-solid is going to be black for sure. I'm going to do Procam black, and I'm thinking of having acid and dye in the pot and then put the yarn in. And I'm trying to think if I should do the yarn wet or not to put it in. Like, I'm trying to decide how much tonality, is that a word, tonality, I want in the black skein. But see, that's the perfect time to experiment, because if I'm making black, I can always over dye it perfect black. It doesn't matter. So I'm thinking I might put this in dry with acid and the dye already in the water, with the water up to temperature, and just pop this in and see what happens. Because I really couldn't tell you what's going to happen, especially with black, because black doesn't usually go gray at a lower depth of shade. It stays white. But I'm hoping that the Procam will, because at lower depths of shade, it is gray. So I really want to see what that's going to do. So I'm really excited to do this, maybe this one of these black, that in a tonal, like I would love a tonal black. I really would love a black with different levels of black. But the only way I can think to do that is to dye at a low depth of shade to get the gray, and then do some resist and dye it again to get a darker shade, and then, you know, keep doing that and doing different resists until we get a tonal black. And I don't want to put that much effort into a tonal black. I think it should be more effortless. The way you get tonal colors with other colors, you don't have to resist. You don't have to do all those resists. You can just plop it in, and that's how it is. So this one will be, the speckled one will be a 2-part process. It will get a color on it, a solid color on it, and then it'll come out of the pot still wet with the acid in it, and I will speckle it. I will probably speckle it black, and depending on my base color, I might speckle it other colors too. I have not really decided, but if you remember that one I made that I heavily speckled, that's what I want this to look like with, I mean, not that I speckled that with like, black and oxblood, not oxblood? Oxblood. Was it oxblood? I know it's not dragon's blood. I always say it's dragon's blood. It's not. I think it's oxblood. So not those colors, but I liked the way that one came out. So I'm thinking of doing something similar to that in different colors. I'm just not 100% on what color I'm going with. It won't be burgundy because we just did burgundy. I'm really excited for this dye project, and I literally came up with it yesterday. Like, I've been having such a hard time figuring out crochet projects and dye projects. Okay, so that is crochet and dye projects. So for stash projects, you know what's in here, right? Another top. And since we've got gray for the other one, I thought we'd do gray wool of the Andes. This is cobblestone, marble heather. This is the lighter gray, marble heather. So this will be our stash project, which is just another top. No big deal. This will be a, where's the weight top? 3 balls, 150 grams. Another one of these. So just in the Peruvian Highland, wool of the Andes. So that, so we're going to start the half Cardi at the beginning of the month. Then we're not going to start that shawl until after dye project, which is in 2 weeks. So that, because it's crochet, I'm probably going to relegate it to the weekends, since I already know it's a crochet project and those are really easier for me to do. So I don't think I'm going to have a lot of, I'm not going to have to pay attention for that. That'll probably be very, very easy. If not, I'll just do it in my nighttime knitting before I go to bed. So the after work knitting. I don't expect that to take too long. That'll probably be finished way before the top and the other things. So if that gets done early, I might start the shorts that are our stash project for April. Because I have enough yarn for 2 sets of shorts, and I wanted to make 2 sets of shorts. So we just might make them both back to back. I don't have a stash project for April yet, but I want our crochet project. Most of these are stash projects. If it's not a dye project, it's a stash project because I'm not buying anything. I did talk to you about these cotton rounds that I had gotten from Hobbi, not Hobby Lobby. I don't shop there. These are from Hobbi, which is in I don't want to say Denmark. I think that's wrong. Yes, Denmark. Made in India for Cotton Kings, Denmark. This is Twirls Shadow 100% cotton. 200 grams is 874 yards. They don't have names for their color thing, at least not on here. It's 100% cotton. This color says 01. So this is one of the colors I got. Oh, that's actually turquoise. I don't know why it's showing mint green, but it's turquoise. I have 4 not 4 of this one, but I have 4. I'm going to show you all 4 right now. So this is a turquoise one. And then I have like a raspberry pink. Oh gosh, they're all getting blown out. It's not that bright. It's like a raspberry. Yeah, it's like that color. Let's see if we pull this up back. Does it get... No, it still looks mint green. It's not mint green at all. It is very, very... It's the definition of turquoise. Green. It's different greens. That's, still too bright. It's just washing everything out. And a purple, which is pretty... Yeah, that's pretty... It's a bold purple in the middle. And then it's like a bluier purple. That one looks good. Yeah, that actually looks like the color. Which is weird because usually purples don't ever look like the color. So remember I told you I had a bunch of shawls that I wanted to do, like that SisLove shawl. It's Sis, S-I-S love, like sister love. Now I realized when I was watching my thing that it sounded like cis, like cisgendered, like S-I-S. It's not, it's S-I-S, like sister. They're witches, like sister love, cis, female love, whatever. I'm not a TERF, so I just want to make that plain. So like these 2 are really bright, and then these 2 are more like darker. So but I do want to do, like, there's some lacy one, like I wonder if those are all from the same person. I have these in my queue that all like look the same. Well, I mean, not the same. They look like they're all from the same person, but I'm not sure they are. And I didn't check their yardage or anything. I just pulled these out. I was digging around for them. Okay, so there is Joanna Lindahl, Kirsten Bishop, and Sis Homemade. Okay, so there's Klaziena Shawl by Kirsten Bishop. Then there is Secret Paths by Joanna Lindahl. I'm sure you guys have seen that one. That one's been everywhere. And then her other one is Lost in Time. That one's also been everywhere. And then we have this Arabela by Lucia Stepankova. Now these all use Sheepy's whorls, so I don't know how similar the yardage is. Probably not, just for my luck, right? Let's see. Let's look at the Lost in Time one. Yeah, it's got a lot of how do you say that? Sheepy's wool. I don't know how to say it. Miho crochet. 766 yards. What did I say the yardage on this was? 874. Okay, so we could do probably just go till we're close to running out. I bet she doesn't tell you how much to hang on to do your last round. Just saying that would be helpful. She might, I don't know. So those are things that I'm kind of, that's the type of cotton shawls I want to make with those. But I'm trying to figure out if I want to go, like the hardest part for me, which one shows up the best? The purple? It's also, I think, the darkest because that blue is pretty dark. It's got like 4 strands, right? Yeah, 4 strands. So the strands change at different intervals. So you start and end with 4 strands of the same color. So the end is 4 strands of black. The beginning, which they have tied off for you, is 4 strands of purple. So as you go through, it, fades. Is that the right word? So it fades into the other color more gradually, which I love. But my problem is, I think if I work them backwards, it'll be more black, because when you work color in a shawl, especially a top-down triangle shawl, you're going to use less yarn to make up more length, because you're starting really small and then getting bigger. So I might start these backwards and start with the black so I have more black, because then the purple's going to thin out as we go longer and longer rows. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I have more black. Plus, it'll give me black up here and pink down at the bottom, which might be a better silhouette. I'm going to make one. I don't know which one. I don't know when. But you're going to see these again. Probably for the summer. Probably next month, not this month. I mean, unless I finish early and I won't feel like starting one, which I might. Who knows? Because that, like I said, our dye project is a shawl. Is a crochet shawl, which is going to be done quite quickly. I doubt we'll need how many? I didn't look to see how many. Okay, so that's dye day. So 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 weekends in March. Well, there are 4, but the 4th is a dye day. That really messed me up, flipping that over to that for then doing the shawl. So anyway, Dye day will probably take 2 days because I have to make that a semi-solid and then base color the other one evenly. I'm going to try to get even coverage for that because we're going to have the speckles. And I'm thinking of speckling it with the same color that I do so I can get some of the same tone but darker bits. But also with black. That's why I'm not sure what color I'm picking, because I want to be able to speckle it with the same color. I'm just trying to decide how much contrast I want between the two colors. Because like I said, with black, I'm loving the lower contrast between them. But in order to do that, you have to have I actually cut this out of my other video. When you're doing low contrast with black, okay, like let's take a look at this purple. And then we'll take a look at the pink. Because you see this is very high contrast. Even in the part where you have more black, there's one strand of pink here in the black. And it is still very, very noticeable that you have pink in there, okay? But when you come around to here, when there is one of the blue, see that? There is one strand of blue right there. You can hardly see that. You can see this purple, but this blue here, you can hardly see. There's one strand of blue right there on top. And you can hardly see that. So that's what I'm talking about low contrast, is you can't even see that bit. It's so far out here, you can't see it. That is what I want. That is how I want to bring color to my black, not this bright color. I want this low contrast, very, very deep color. It's also not going to be purple because I got purple for something else. So, I'm still deciding on what low, because I love the low contrast look. I love how it looks with black, where it almost looks like black, but then it's not. Like you get a subtle bit of color in your black, and I just love that. And you don't see that done much at all, especially in yarn. And that's even in my yarns that I've dyed so far, you haven't seen that, because I've still been experimenting with techniques and dye processes, and but my vision is this low contrast with black is really what I vision, because I love black so much but I also love color, but I don't like the bright color. It's a little too eye-catching for me to have bright color with black. I love the low contrast, and that is something I really, really, really want to focus on and bring. That's what I want to bring to the table, is some low contrast variegations, semi-solids, tonals. Because I think when you use a lot of black, I've said this before, every time they're doing some knit along, right? And every dyer comes out with skeins for it. Like, oh, like the, whatever Casa Pinka is doing, right? I love her. I'm just saying. It's always a Casa Pinka shawl, right? That everyone's doing. Which is fine. But I was saying every time, they always have like, or Stephen West, which, hello. That's never going to be subtle unless he does monochrome, which again is high contrast, so it's still not going to be subtle. So I always see these absolutely beautiful colors put together, speckles, whatever. I mean, they're always beautiful, but there's never a goth option. There's never a goth option. If you're lucky, you'll get black, gray, and white, or black and red, or like any of the neons. Which is fine if that's what you like, and there's lots of people doing that, which is why I said I'm not doing neons. I have absolutely no interest in doing neons at all. Zero. No, thank you. Way too bright for me. So what I really wanted were colors I wanted to do, which are low contrast, dark colors that just go with black. That's all I want to do. It's literally all I want. So that's my plan. So we're going to see how well I do that. I don't know how low contrast I can get if I'm also going to speckle, though. That's kind of a problem. I guess I don't have to speckle. They could just be semi-solid tonals. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. I never know what I'm doing. I never have any clue until I'm in like, usually that day I'll be like, oh, let's do this. So I don't know. I have some ideas, but I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing, because it's kind of when you're there, you know, the feeling takes over and you're like, oh, let's do this. So is that everything? It's whips. So I am going to be taking apart the V-back tee, and we'll never speak of it again or attempt it again. It'll be done. I think my other V-back tee that I told you was the Euro sock from Mad Tosh, that back-stained green. I'm like 90% sure I'm just going to throw it in the garbage. I have too many skeins of yarn to bother with 2 skeins that are already like messed up, like beyond repair, that I would have to then, well, one, it's already been cut. They both already been cut. So, which I don't know why they had you cut on the sleeve when I just bypassed that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, because we're never talking of it again. I'm tired of paying for these patterns that never work out. Like, it's starting to weigh on me. Like, and everyone did that one too, and I wonder if they just did theirs so big. I don't know why it's so tight, and then so I just don't understand the fit of that at all. Anyway, I'm excited to do that baby alpaca bamboo. I think that is going to be so soft, and I want it soft because that's going to be up against the skin. And I figure alpaca is soft. I mean, alpaca is soft, but it's also warm, I thought, right? Alpaca is warm, and then bamboo is like a cotton alternative, right? Well, bamboo is kind of also rayon, but it's still a plant fiber. So cellulose fibers, I know absolutely nothing about at all. And I'm not that knowledgeable about protein fibers either. Except for nylon. It takes, because it's just amazing with color. I mean, I would not want, to wear something nylon, but the inclusion of nylon in sock yarn just makes the color so vibrant. I just absolutely love it. And it sticks. Like, I don't have the bleeding with nylon bases that I do with other bases. So I don't know. That's just me, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, 3 projects next month, but I'm sure we'll be finished and we'll start something else. I just don't know and I kind of like not over planning, where I have like a rigid plan. I like to be flexible in my planning. So when stuff comes up like this, because I'm sure that some of our dye projects are going to fit in another category. A lot of my stash projects are former dye projects. Like this half a cardi that I wanted to do it because it was sport, and I already had that yarn dyed from the witchling. And then I'm like, oh, I saw that picture of how it's on 4s, and I'm like, oh, that's what I used on my thing. And it was too big. So like I said, it would have gone up to a DK, but I'm gonna swatch this and hopefully it'll work. If not, I'll try to find whatever, if I can find a cardigan that is the stitches per inch that I get off that, we'll just do that. And then I'll use the cardi, the half a cardi, as like an idea of when I should start and stop, or stop at the, use that as more inspiration, I guess. But I really do like the idea of that, because that's more versatile. And then next month we're going to do the Safire, which is the V-neck with a little bit longer sleeves. I think they're just over the elbow. However, I'm pretty sure that's going to be our dye project, and we're just going to dye it black because it calls for worsted, but everyone said that it was too big, so everyone used DK. And the only DK I have is undyed, so I'm going to swatch with the same base. Thank you, Tina. Tina has the base. I have some yarn from Tina that is the same base as what I'm going to dye. So I'm going to swatch with hers so I can figure out how much I need to dye. but that's next month. But I thought having those two different, one with long sleeves and one with a little bit longer sleeve, but with the V-neck, I thought those two would be good staples for the wardrobe for when I don't want to cover up too much, and then when I want more coverage. They're both cropped, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, that's neither here nor there because we'll talk about that next month. See, I think I've talked about everything that there is to talk about. So I'll see you next week for finished items, which I only have 2 more items to finish, so that's not going to be a problem. Unless something, oh my God, there's no wood around me to knock on. Terrible. Okay. Anyway, take care of yourself. I'll see you next week.